Okay, welcome to episode 3 of Macbook Air Gaming. Today we're going to look at Torchlight. Once again, this is the 11.6-inch MacBook Air, 1.4 gigahertz Core 2 Duo CPU, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gig hard drive. I heard recently that Torchlight will be coming to Xbox Live, and that sounds quite appealing to me. But today we're going to be looking at the PC version. We're running Boot Camp and Windows 7 Home Premium. I've not played this game very much. In fact, very, very little. What I've played of it seems all right. But so you're going to see just how little I've played, because we're going to be in the opening area. Well, the opening dungeon anyway. Okay, so our frame rates are hovering between the high 50s. I saw it up in the 80s there for a second. Looks like low 60s, high 50s is about to, oh, dropped all the way down to 36 there right when this tip popped up. There was a noticeable little hiccup there. There's a little bit of screen tearing. Given how high these frame rates are, I'm going to go into the settings options here in a minute and see if there's a VSync option, which should eliminate that. It looks to me like we've got enough leeway on the frame rate to be able to get away with VSync. Let's see. Settings. Full screen anti-aliasing, no. Render behind walls, sure. REM lights. HW scanning, hardware scanning? I'm not 100% sure what that is. VSync, okay. We're set to native resolution. Shadows are low. Let's turn them up to medium, just for giggles. Music volume, who cares? Particle detail is high. No, don't show me tips. Show event info, sure. Show blood, absolutely. Netbook mode. I have not played with this. I'm kind of curious to see what netbook mode does, given that we're sort of using one. And we're back in. See if we can get some particle effects and enemies going. So far the VSync is keeping it in the neighborhood of 60, but I would hardly call it locked. Bit of a hiccup there. Did I not turn VSync on? It sure doesn't look like I did. 48. And again, this is with the shadow detail turned up to, what was it, medium. And still pretty smoothly playable. The only reason VSync is on doesn't seem to be making a huge amount of difference. It just, I guess it can't, at least not with the shadows up that high. Let's turn shadows to lighting only. Apply and see what we get. But honestly, it looks like you could probably max everything out and still be perfectly playable. very high. Particle detail, still high as that goes. Don't have any options for texture details, things like that. Okay, so I've got everything maxed, and with a handful of enemies on the screen, everything is still perfectly fine. But games like this will sometimes really overwhelm you with your number of enemies, and I'm kind of curious how it would respond on this hardware when that happens. But like I said, I haven't played through this game really at all, so I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but it's a dungeon crawl hack and slash. Chances are at some point there are going to be like 30 spiders crawling all over you while their gigantic spider mother lurches down a tight hallway at you. There's a little hiccup. There's a fair number of enemies, and we're still, I saw the low 40s there for a second. Before we go, I just want to take one quick look at netbook mode, just out of curiosity. It's going to relaunch. Okay, so the battery cut out on my camera there. Honestly, I don't think it matters too much. I think what we've seen is don't bother with the netbook mode if you're running on the MacBook Air. Feel free to set the settings as high as you want, and it will remain playable. Dial back those shadow settings just a little, and you're going to be really, really smooth by anyone's standards. And that's going to wrap it up for episode 3 of MacBook Air Gaming Torchlight. Tune in next time when we're going to be taking a look at the user-requested Left 4 Dead. I have not opened this game at all on this machine. I have absolutely no idea what sort of performance we're going to see out of it. We will find out together. Till next time.